it was exciting and it was fun. It actually made going to class a blast. My name is Jay Kruger, and I graduated from Walsh College with my MBA in 2021. Before I started my first semester, I was a mess. The closer I got to starting, the worse I felt about the entire thing. It had been 11 years since I graduated with my undergrad degree, and now I'm working in a full-time job and demanding position with a 3-year-old at home and seemingly zero time on my plate. I remember doubting myself like crazy. I hit that first 2 weeks of class and I was thinking that there was no chance. And I went to my wife and I was like, I'm done. I don't think I can do this anymore. And I was just feeling so overwhelmed with life, and I just didn't know how I could possibly get everything back on track. But I had made the commitment to finish. And I said, if I'm going to get started, I can at least see it out for the first semester. And with each week from that point, things got a little bit easier. I learned how to manage my schedule a little bit better. I just started to figure out that I could fill these small 10-minute gaps with either reading another page, or I could do another piece of my discussion post. And I could fill these little gaps. And those little gaps filled would add up. And at the end of the day, I was getting more and more done. And it was at that time that I started to feel like, you know what? I think things can actually work out. I think we can actually make this work. Now, as I moved through my classes, I started to find different areas that I actually had interest in that I had never even thought of before. I was finding every day something else that I could take from the classroom straight to my job and have this immediate impact. And it was exciting and it was fun. It actually made going to class a blast because I was getting things that were of value. Now, don't get me wrong, there were classes that were hard, and there was late nights, and there was early mornings, and there was hard papers, and there was tough exams, and there was a lot of studying. But then there was other classes that, even though they felt like maybe they were difficult, they were so fun. And every day I was finding new things. And I remember going to my design thinking class, and it was like somebody finally gave me permission to function the way that I already function, and I could think outside the box, and I could get paired with people that were from different industries and realize that we need each other, and you need to have different points of view on things, and you need to have these discussions in order to be successful. And that didn't change. When I got out of that and I went into my capstone class to finish out, it was an absolute game changer. Suddenly everything that I had done in my entire degree was coming together into one solid, organized game. And it was a game of a group of students from Walsh competing nationally with all these other students. And that's just part of the capstone. And we had to have people from different walks of life. I had somebody on my team from a finance degree, and I had somebody else that was really understood how data analytics works and reading these reports. And it was great. And we would come together and we would do these things, and weekly you'd get excited about the new release coming out. Okay, how do we do this week? And what can we do? What adjustments? And that was fun. And it was finally this ability to recognize that what we were doing was far more than a degree. And it was everything that we could be. I'm somebody that when I graduated high school, I was not even going to my undergrad. It wasn't in the cards for me. It wasn't something I wanted to do. But then I did. And I continued on, and the social life was really fun. And I started to find things I liked, and I graduated. And then I started a career and started doing all that, had a kid, had a family, moved around the country, and did all these things. And I found myself now going back to get a graduate degree and being excited about it. And I was nervous. I was crazy. But I, at this point in my career now, see that it was such an investment. The investment of time was such an investment in myself and in my future and in the future of my kid and my family, and I couldn't be happier. I graduated and immediately following got a promotion, and I was starting to be brought into these conversations that people valued what I was having to say because I could speak intelligently. It's not the degree that matters. And I understand that everyone gets excited about whether you need a degree or not. And I get it, but it's not the degree. We're not here for the certificate that says I did this thing. We're here because the knowledge that comes out of it puts you at a table with people that are decision makers, and they are the people that are going to make the decisions that are going to affect everything that the company does from that point forward. And having a seat at that table means everything. So if you're even thinking about it at this point, you've already made the right step. And I cannot speak highly enough of my MBA from Walsh College. It changed everything for me, and I couldn't be happier.